Nice to see you.
You
Thanks
too.
for coming.
Congrats. Of
Thank
course.
you.
I had to. You've been popping off lately.
Thank you.
Gymnastics is so different, so I just wanted to scream. But then they're like, maybe not right now. Now that I got it.
Thank
I
you.
love watching you, everything you
Thank
do.
you. You're such an inspiration.
Yes,
like
so are
seriously,
you.
when I said in the interview, I was thinking about that literally.
Oh, that's
So my
sweet.
mom did gymnastics on a way lower level
Yeah,
than you.
yeah.
And so she was like, if I can focus on that, then you can do that. So I was like, okay, I guess you're right.
That's so sweet.
Yeah, you're inspiration, seriously.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Good luck.
Who taught you to hate her hair? Alignment, power, and the truth about what matters. Part 1. Victims to villains. So you thought we were starting with history of Africa first? No. We are starting with you, the Black woman. You too are victims and villains. Because there is something deeply revealing about the way a woman is treated when she refuses to alter herself. Not loudly, not rebelliously, but quietly. When she simply shows up as she is. And somehow, that alone becomes controversial. She steps onto the court, then performs at a level most people cannot even comprehend, then stands at the height of Olympic glory. There was always another conversation happening. Not about their discipline, not about their greatness, but about their hair. Hair reveals infrastructure. And what lingers for me is not just that the critique existed, but who was participating in it. Now, I already know where some people want to take this conversation. They want to say this is about men, about preference, about desirability. And while that may be a layer, it is not the full picture. Because if we are being honest, the loudest, most immediate, most consistent commentary on these women has come from other women. And if we skip over that, we miss the truth. There is a term for this, misogynoir, coined by Moya Bailey. But beyond the term, there is a behavior. Learned, repeated, normalized. Where the system no longer has to enforce itself because we begin to enforce it on each other. And the mind adapts to that. When a certain look is rewarded long enough, when a certain presentation is consistently seen as polished, acceptable, desirable, the brain begins to organize itself around those patterns. Without asking questions, it builds a hierarchy. So when a woman exists outside of that structure, not aggressively, not defiantly, but effortlessly, she doesn't just stand out. She exposes the system. And exposure can feel uncomfortable. This didn't begin today. There were times when Black women's hair was regulated, covered, controlled, treated as something that needed to be managed in order to move safely through society. And later, that management became internal. Refinement became strategy. Presentation became navigation. So what we are seeing now is not just preference, it is inheritance. And this is where I want to shift the conversation into something more honest. Because I don't believe wigs are simply about self-hate. That's too easy. Black, white, and Latina grandmothers wore wigs. Women in the 50s and 60s wore wigs across cultures. It was normal. It was practical. It was style. The whole cast of 80s show, Dynasty, wore wigs. But what changed is how wigs became a constant solution. And my personal theory is that the natural hair movement did not eliminate wigs. It expanded their use. Because when many of us went natural, we realized something very quickly. Natural hair is work. Beautiful, yes. Versatile, absolutely. But also time-consuming, unpredictable, demanding. You can do everything right at night and wake up to something completely different. And when you have somewhere to be, when you have to get to work, when your day is already moving before you even open your eyes, you don't always have the luxury of negotiating with your hair. So the wig becomes something else, not insecurity, but efficiency. And this is where we have to go deeper. Because we cannot have an honest conversation about hair without talking about money. Because how you wear your hair is not just about identity. It is about time. It is about access. It is about control over your day. There are women who wake up with space, and there are women who wake up already behind, already calculating, already moving. And when you are in that second category, you don't always have the luxury of experimenting. You need something that works every time. So the wig becomes infrastructure, a system, a way to bypass unpredictability and move through your life. And when you look at it that way, it stops being about self-hate and starts being about function. But even within that, there are levels. Because there are women who wear wigs and you would never know. The density is right, the hairline is right, the texture, even if it is not their exact texture, still looks believable. It moves well, it blends well, it fits them well. And then there are women where the wig is obvious. Not because they lack taste, but because they lack access. And with that lack of access, it reveals the lives those women are stuck in. Imagine being so addicted to what others think, you see the hair on a woman who's doing a triple axel spike in the air. Those women tend to be aligned to something quite opposite to what great achievers are aligned to. These hair discourses expose a large segment of Black women in the entire diaspora and their ideals. This focus is layered, again, as its source is white supremacy. But whites getting to hold the beauty standard is still practiced by brainwashed people of color who are the global majority. Because a truly seamless, natural-looking install requires skill, time, and often money. The kind of money that allows you to go to someone who specializes in it, who customizes it, who understands how to make it look like it is growing out of your scalp. Some women teach themselves. They practice, they refine, they become incredibly skilled. But many don't have the time to reach that level. So they are doing the best they can with what they have. And that gap shows. So what you are really seeing when you look at hair presentation is not just style. You are seeing resources. You are seeing access to time, to expertise, to consistency. You are seeing the difference between managing and choosing. Because when a woman gains more time, more money, more autonomy, her options expand. She can maintain her natural hair at a high level. She can choose wigs that are refined, realistic, expertly done. She can move differently. And that is where influence begins. Because for me, this conversation is not about arguing online about who prefers what. That is not power. The goal is to build a life where you have the resources to present yourself however you choose and to do it well. And when you have that kind of control, your hair is no longer a point of stress. It becomes an extension of your environment, your resources, your intention. And that brings me back to alignment. I don't just see women making hair choices. I see women who are aligned with their craft, aligned with their discipline, aligned with being the best in the world at what they do. Their focus is not on whether their hair is perfectly laid. Their focus is on performance, on mastery, on excellence, and everything else becomes secondary. Even when appeared in a luxury campaign, her hair was neat. It was intentional. It was simply not altered to fit someone else's idea of what it should look like. And the brand accepted it. Because at that level, alignment speaks louder than conformity. And that is what I want Black women to understand. Most people are not aligned. Most people are distracted. Most people are pouring energy into things that do not move their life forward. But the women who rise, the women who shift rooms, the women who build power, are not aligned with trivial things. And at the end of the day, hair, while important in presentation, is still a smaller piece of a much larger picture. Because when you are truly aligned with your purpose, your growth, your financial stability, your autonomy, your legacy, you stop centering your life around external validation. You start building something real, something that gives you options, something that gives you control. So this was never just about hair. It was about what your focus reveals. It was about what your choices reflect. And ultimately, it was about whether you are living in reaction or in alignment. Hair is not just aesthetic. It's a visible map of access, time, skill, and money.
On Twitter and see thousands of people talking about the way that I look and not in a positive way. There's nothing really to address, but I just wanted to come on here and talk about it. So first things first, let's start with the shoot. It was not a full production shoot. It was literally me and my social person who shot that shoot in my parents' backyard. I went to dinner with my friends, like I said, later that day. My friends complimented my makeup and said I looked pretty and everything in my hair that day. So, and other people did too. So I'm not gonna apologize for the way that my hair looked, because there are other girls who have the exact same hair as me, and I just wanted them to feel represented, that your hair is literally fine the way it is. My hair was good enough for a high fashionable brand like Miu Miu to promote one of their newest launches. So if my 4C hair is good enough for that, then yours is good enough to do whatever you need it to do. So I'm not gonna apologize for that. I'm not gonna apologize for my makeup. I don't feel the need to put on a full face of makeup to take photos. I'm not hating on people who do that, because I am someone who also will put on a full face of makeup just to take photos. It's just that day I didn't want to do it, because also to create a concept, that was not the point of it. And if you also look at the Miu Miu aesthetic, it's the makeup for most of their shoots are very minimum, if not any. Sometimes the models aren't wearing any makeup, because that's just Miu Miu. Like I said, the girls who get it. The girls who don't.